Welcome, guys.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Not Your Average Chalupa. Woo
It is
woo.
I, Anai.
And it is me, David.
It's been a week, guys.
Yes, big
Very
week.
eventful week. How are you feeling, David?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good today. We're ending off on a good note. We're recording a bit later in the day than usual, but we're rolling with it because, schedules change and stuff
Things
like
are
that.
switching up a little bit, but for the good.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, let's just get straight into it. Straight
Yes.
into the tea. And where do you serve tea? Might you consume?
I
I
think,
mean, might you what? I can't even what.
I think you drink tea from mugs, yes.
A mug. Interesting. Um, Update on the mug.
Yeah, the mugs from last week's
Oh
episode.
my God.
The whole fiasco of us making the mugs for her birthday.
You wanna?
Yeah. So, just to give you a recap, Anai did reach out to the location where we, took the pottery class and made our pieces, and they said that she can return and make another piece, and that was perfect. And instead of a reimbursing or anything, they're compensating her. So I feel like you can.
Yeah, no. I'm just letting you do your thing.
Yeah.
I also kind of got to pee a little bit, but it's okay. So last thing where we ended, I emailed them, and they got back. They got back to me so quick. They were so understanding, and I tried my best to be mindful and put myself in the business owner's shoes because
Yeah.
shit happens.
hmm
You gotta roll with the punches.
And you
right?
can't just like reimburse every person who complains about something.
Exactly. So I was kind of like ready to like not hear the best, but they were like, you know what, Anai, come back, take an entire class for free, and remake your mug.
That's such a good like
That
compensation.
is not what I expected. And
Yeah.
also I am just now learning to find my voice. Aha, no pun intended. Um Finding my voice, speaking up for myself, standing my ground. And that's what I did.
hmm
Like even though it wasn't my money,
Yeah.
it was our
Still.
experience.
Yeah.
So I stood my ground and I used my voice and I got a free mug class.
Free mug out of it.
So
All right, this is where it kind of takes a turn, right? So because she had a free mug, we got to actually keep the original bitch ass mug. So the one that was all messed up, that wasn't actually her mug, which they actually altered and tried to make into hers. So we still have it. It's right here. If you're looking at the video podcast, we still have quote unquote mug. That was like the reason for all this happening in the first place.
so
Anai returns to the mug class and makes a whole new piece, beautiful. It's a different design, different
I
style.
took it as my opportunity to do something new, something different, and I was like, you know what? Let me make a different color mug. Let's start fresh.
Yeah. She ends up going to the class, goes through the whole thing, has a great time. They extend the class even a little bit just because.
It was supposed to be a 2-hour class. It was a 4-hour class.
Yeah. They had an opening in the schedule, so they just let them continue to make pottery. So it just worked out to be a really, really beautiful day for Anai. And they finish everything. Anai's about to leave.
Hold on, wait. I want to take over from
Yeah,
here
yeah.
because it's like, so I'm about to leave. Like David was saying, thank you.
Mm.
They let you take a piece. There's a pile that says giveaway, like a
Yes.
giveaway thing, because the turnaround time for your mug is 2 to 4 weeks. They also told me they were gonna give me a fast turnaround time. So they're like, yeah, you can still go ahead, take a couple things from the giveaway pile. The giveaway pile normally is things that are broken, things that nobody picked up, or just good things that are not wanted.
Yeah. Like people will pay for the class itself, but not to take home the piece. So they'll just be leftover, pieces that were there.
And it was a big takeaway box.
Yes.
So I'm like, best believe I'm gonna take something because
Mm.
I wanted to take something for you and just
Yeah.
bring it home, and for me.
And the instructor was like, "Yeah, just take whatever you want from the box," because like they were having a good class. It was a nice energy going around, and the instructor decided to be a little extra kind because usually you take one out and have a good time. But yeah,
And he said, go ahead. First of all, I had two instructors. I had two instructors with me, personally guiding me. Amazing. So I'm going through it, and it's a big pile, and I'm like, you know what? I have time. I start opening the box, undoing things. Oh my god. And I'm really in there, I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, like I'm trying to find a good piece. And guess what I find in that box? My original mug.
the whole reason that we went through this whole sequence of events was because they misplaced her mug.
They misplaced my mug, and I guarantee that this mug looks good. It's cracked at the top, but when I moved it, either I cracked it or it was cracked because of all the things on top.
Yeah.
But it is in perfect condition.
Aside from that crack.
So I'm very blunt, like I'm just very straightforward, and I'm like, look, this is my original mug, and I'm screaming at the instructor in a happy manner, of
Hmm.
course. I'm like, guys, I found my mug.
Excited.
Even the instructors are like, what the fuck,
That's so strange
like
for.
why is a perfectly good mug there? It's a giveaway pile.
Mhm.
And I was like, yeah, look, it had my fingerprints. It even has Anais' 23rd birthday on it.
Yeah.
And even the instructors were like laughing. They were all happy for me. And they were like, well, now you have two mugs that you get to take home. And I brought like four things from the giveaway
Yeah.
pile.
Like she fully took advantage of the opportunity to
Of
take the free
course.
pieces. But yeah, all of this like turn of events, the emotions we felt for waiting 2 months for a piece to be broken, just to find out that the piece was completely intact inside of a giveaway box.
Like, why? I feel like, oh my God, don't even get me started with the instructor. These two instructors that I had, they were amazing. I learned so many things. It
Hmm.
turns out that the old instructor that taught David and us did not do anything. In our eyes, it was our first experience. We didn't know
Yeah.
what to
We
expect.
went into a very like blank slate, you know?
And it was kind of a like a figure it out on your own type of
Hmm.
situation. Over here, they guided me. They taught me this. They taught me the tactics. They
Yeah.
gave me the color wheel. Like,
Yeah. It was like our OG instructor, he just kind of half-assed it.
yeah,
And maybe our OG instructor was a hater. He was hating on your piece.
maybe. I don't know. But I feel like either my mug got displaced or.
Something was lost in the works, but
Uh, listen, I have my mug, but you're still gonna need an update like
yeah,
next week.
because now we have a third mug coming in, and this is the replacement free mug.
So this is my replacement. Yeah, like my replacement mug. And imagine that one gets
You
cracked.
just keep getting free
I
classes.
don't know. No, no, no. I wouldn't push it, but hopefully, and I worked on it really hard so that it doesn't crack. It's okay. So now we still have to update you whenever that mug comes in.
Yes, hopefully 2 weeks time. So maybe before the end of February, perhaps. You never know.
Probably the end of
Yeah,
February, yeah. But we'll see. I mean, in the meantime, I got two mugs,
that's right. That's right.
and I learned to appreciate the bitch ass mug.
Yeah, every piece has its own uniqueness about it.
And listen, I have three mugs at the end of the day. The third
Mhm.
one's coming. So that's that. A little bit update on the mug, and I've just been seeing a lot of things lately.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've been seeing that kind of stood out to us, that I feel like everyone's talking about right now is the Apple Vision Pros, and the reason that it kind of stands out to us so much is because it really is taking over people in terms of like their. This is a new wave of technology.
We're really in the future, guys.
Yeah, like Ready Player One, the movie,
What
it's
is
coming
it?
to reality.
Wally. Do you
Wally.
remember Wally? Like when they go up to the space, is it Wally? They go
Mhm.
up into the space shuttle, and with all due respect, what I'm about to say, I'm just referencing to the movie. Do you remember the people, the
The obese
big
people. Yeah.
obese people that just lay down on the
Mhm.
couches and watch things under little glass?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me
Mhm.
of.
There
No,
was an
not
episode.
obesity, but
Yeah, but there was an episode of The Simpsons in 2016 that showed people walking around with exactly the same setup as the Apple Vision Pro, and like falling into manholes and getting hit by cars, and it's just I feel like this Apple Vision Pro is going to be the next style of technology and the way it's used with people, like the next user interface.
it's just a little bit of a mind fuck.
Hmm.
Still a little bit of getting used to.
It's just cool because we've been stuck on smartphones for how long now? So just imagine where this
Where
is
we're
going to evolve to.
going.
Yeah,
Because this is a new
lovely.
step.
Mhm.
Like that's a
It's not
whole
even
new.
it's not even a step, it's a leap. You know.
Yeah, that's something crazy. But I don't know. It's a little. It feels like we're in the future, but is the future really the future if you're in the present?
Hmm.
But is the present really the present because you're in the future?
You know,
But
like the
when I
question,
look,
you know, like the equations above your head just floating around.
but if we're in the present and then you're hearing me now, then I'm in the past.
You're listening to past versions of us contemplate the future, which is your present moment. What?
It's just like so it baffles me because this is a new era we're entering and only
Yeah,
God knows where we're going, you know.
a new
In
era
terms
of
of
technology, a
what
new
is it?
tech.
Elon
Yeah.
Musk, didn't he put a chip into somebody?
He's finally they're starting to integrate the neural link into people with disabilities because they're able to use the technology from their brain now.
Not only that, but now they're gonna start taking those chips and putting them in, like, for
Oh,
example, let's say Messi.
athletes.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God, that's a whole different rabbit. Like, for example, Messi, the GOAT, or LeBron, whoever you idolize. they can literally like mimic the way they problem solve and thinking skills and put that chip into David, and David is now LeBron.
Yeah, I will have the mental capacity and the reaction time and the game knowledge of LeBron, and I can just pay for it. I have a Neuralink chip. You have a download of LeBron's mind and the way that he processes games. I can have LeBron's thought process and mental
Problem
capacity.
solving skills.
Yeah,
Isn't that insane? Imagine a whole team.
a whole team of people, a bunch of Messis on the soccer field.
Yeah.
A 6-year-old Messi.
2026 World Cup
Yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah. It just seems like everything's, the way that we establish things and did things is kind of going up in flames.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty crazy. It's just
Yeah.
a lot. This week has been very hot.
Hot. Yeah. Speaking of everything going up in flames. So our last story recap for the week. We had an occurrence in the house. Okay, we're gonna tell you this story from the perspective of, not including the names, just so you.
What?
Wait, you want to do that? Or you want to tell them how with the people?
Let's tell them
Yeah.
podcast exclusive only.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you guys are gonna
for
hear.
those who actually listen to us,
Mhm. You guys
So,
are gonna know who
the
was
full
the person.
tea.
Yeah, the full tea. You want to start it?
So we were baking cookies. This new recipe that I'm trying out, and we
Mhm.
were about to get ready. And I need coconut oil. We use a lot of coconut oil. It's really
Yeah.
good for you. And I needed my oil to melt. Meanwhile, the oven was preheating. So I go, David, can you please put the coconut oil in the oven for it to melt?
Mhm.
Mind you, it's a glass jar. So I think that everything's gonna be, and okay, I've done it before. I normally bake alone. This is the
Yeah.
first time David bakes with me. So David kind of looks at me a little confused, a little like,
I was like put off by it because you have a glass of oil inside the oven. I'm like, why not just use a microwave or something, or like heat it up in a pot of water? But I was like, you know what? She said she's done it before. I take your word for it. I trust you. And I put the glass of coconut oil in the oven.
so it's in there. We're finishing dishes and we're getting ready for baking, and we take it out. No. So
At this point, we're moving stuff around, cleaning, prepping the baking materials, and Anna wants to grab the glass of coconut oil from the oven,
my
and she opens the oven. Right now, there's an important detail here that's gonna become relevant in a couple seconds. Anna happened to be in her underwear. We're home. We're in our space.
I was baking in my panties. What can I say?
That's how you
gotta
live life.
do what you gotta do.
That's how you live life. That's the best way to do it. So she's in her underwear, and she bends over to grab the coconut oil from the oven. Right. So butt crack is fully exposed. Right.
Not butt crack out, but my booty is exposed. I got
Yeah.
the cheeks hanging.
Exactly. The cheeks are in the wind. And I'm walking past and not thinking about her, what she's doing in the oven. I just saw her open the oven. I poke her butt crack, right?
You went directly for my for my booty hole.
Not for your butt crack. I didn't go for your booty. I was like the top of your crack. It was like, I was up there.
Okay,
I was up there.
okay.
But I poke her butt crack, and at the exact moment of me poking her butt crack, she was grabbing the glass of coconut oil. The timing
I
couldn't have been worse.
flinched.
Yeah.
I flinched because how else would you react if you see somebody touching your butt crack? You would flinch. And listen, a man, boyfriend, guys, whatever, guys like booty. I respect it. Listen, I love that you love it. I love it too. But we went over this in
Yeah.
circles. It's common sense if you see me in the oven
Not to touch your butt crack.
bending over to pick something up hot,
Yeah.
and you come and touch my most vulnerable part.
Hey, listen. I wasn't thinking. I just saw butt crack. I reached for butt crack. But so that happens, right? Anna flinches, and then because she flinches, the glass slips out of her hand, and oil spills all over the inside of the oven.
And my immediate reaction was to try to pick it up, but I did not react the way I normally react. For some reason,
It was much more calm, much more collected.
I was cool and collected, even though I was freaking the fuck out on the inside.
Yeah. So the oil was spilling inside of the oven, and she went to reach for the glass. The glass was hot, burns her hand, and she's just there the whole time as that's going on. Like she was like, "Oh, David," and then just completely went quiet for like a couple of good seconds. And I'm like, "Okay, she's fine." She's like, "The oil spilled," and she's still calm. So I'm thinking, okay, I keep cleaning the dishes. I keep doing my own thing, and then I'm like registering. The oven has an open flame. We're putting oil into an open flame.
No, but I said it. I was like, I was cool and collected, and I
Yeah.
was like, the oil spilled on the inside. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then I go, David, I just caused a fire right now?
Yeah.
So calm.
And it clicked in my brain.
Creepily calm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't there a gas line connected? And there's flames. And we just put oil?
So that whole shit was gonna light up, and we started thinking about it. And my dumbass was like, "You know what? It's an oven. If anything, the flames will be fine inside." I'm so fucking stupid. And Ani's like, "Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah." And we're both there like two dumbasses,
Dumb and dumber.
dumb and dumber. Yes, 100%. So we closed the oven door again, not thinking about it, and then all of a sudden we just see shit tons of smoke coming out of the oven, and mind you, oil when it burns, when it's at a high temperature, it smokes a lot. So it may not be direct flame, but there's a shit ton of smoke. So the whole kitchen starts to get filled with smoke.
So
we kind of like are
we got
caught off guard.
scared,
Yeah.
and we put our executive producer,
Mm-hmm.
Opalini, our baby cat. My immediate thought, well, David's immediate thought, I'm not gonna lie, it was you first who thought about the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And Opal, you were like, put him away because it
Yeah.
just started smoking,
The
and then
fire alarm went off.
David opens, and insert clip here. David opens the oven, and immediate flames.
Yeah, we see like flames from the bottom of the oven coming out. I'm like, fuck. This
And
can
then he
get really
closes
bad.
it.
I close it so like to cut off the air circulation to think, because I was just in like panic mode a little bit
And meanwhile, I'm just there like,
with the fucking phone. with the fucking phone. What does this generation come to, bro? Like, that everything is a phone.
otherwise you couldn't see
It
it.
was for the podcast. We did this for you. We risked
So
ourselves.
David brings out the fire extinguisher. Thankfully, we have a fire extinguisher at home.
Yes, always have a fire extinguisher.
This is the first house I live in that has a fire extinguisher. That's concerning.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we did.
You know, anyway, so he brings out the fire extinguisher and he's like, help me open it. And I'm like, recording him, pointing my camera.
I'm like, how do you open this? And she's just looking at me with the fucking phone. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. I had to figure this out. I opened it up myself. And I take out the pin. I open this thing back up, and we turn the oven off at this point, so the gas is not continuing to
Flames
flow.
are still going.
But because the oil was still burning, right? The flame was still there. So I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, all right, cool. Open it. The smoke starts to come out faster because there's a lot more oxygen now, and I just start shooting the bottom of the oven with the
At this
fire
point,
extinguisher.
Opal's screaming like, meow, 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 let
Fire
me
alarm's
out,
going
you know?
off.
Opal's like scratching the door like, let me out, what's going on? Fire alarm, beep, beep, meow, meow, beep. It was like,
So much
and
stimulus.
then I'm laughing. My panic reaction was to laugh, and then David is like doing the loud.
Mind you, my legs is shaking and shit. I'm over here nervous as fuck.
And so many sounds from so many places are just coming, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then for the rest of the night, we were dedicated to making those fucking cookies, because the whole reason we had that fire was to make those cookies. So we sat there for another 2 hours throughout the night, checking the temperature to let the oil burn off, so we can make good cookies. We made our cookies at what, 2 a.m?
Yeah. And I ended up making fresh almond milk too.
Yeah, it was good. We had a fun time.
But the question was, whose fault was it? David, so now we kind of came to a conclusion because it's been days now. But David was like, it's your fault for putting the hot oil in the oven. And he goes, it's partially, David says this, and I'm quoting David, goes, I feel like it's a 40-60. I feel like it's not really my fault, but it's mostly your fault. It's not my fault you touched my booty crack.
Yeah, but who puts oil in the fucking oven?
Who touches me while I'm taking things out the oven?
We've established that we kind of agreed now. It's more so a 60-40. I'm
No.
the one.
If anything, no. If anything, you're the fucking 60-40.
Yeah,
I want to
60-40. I'm the one in the bad.
but no.
Yeah.
I want to leave it at 50 because I'm stupid for putting the coconut oil in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
But you're stupider for
Touching your butt crack.
while I'm taking out hot oil.
My mind went blank. I don't know what I could say. There was just something distracting me. You know what can I say?
Anyway, that it was very hot, very heavy, hot and heavy, not in all the right ways.
But you know when it's hot and heavy in the right ways?
Tell me.
Valentine's Day. What is it?
I can't myself.
So yeah. Now that we've got our stories out the way. Oh yeah, look at the whistle. So beautiful.
No, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I definitely think it's something we should speak about. I know it's not something everybody celebrates, so let's talk about it.
Yeah.
What do you remember about Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day
from
was
your
just
youth?
always it would be the time when you bought your partner, your significant other, your crush a gift. And that's what I remember Valentine's Day being. It was very much a commercial kind of thing. Where it was
Hmm.
like, get them chocolates, get them teddy bears, write a card, something sentimental. But that was all I really knew about it as a kid.
Did you ever give anybody chocolates or like?
Yeah, so I was a big time romantic. My mom raised me to be romantic. Like she was like hold doors open all the time, no matter like who it is. Always like um, be
He
respectful.
walks on the side of the car, ladies.
Yeah, I peel the oranges. I walk on the side of the car, but so I was always raised to be a gentleman. And during Valentine's Day, even if the girl didn't like me, it didn't matter. Even if I never spoke to this girl, I would buy some chocolates. I would get a teddy bear. I would get it for the girl and my teachers because
Oh,
I usually had women teachers.
I did not know the teacher
Yeah,
part.
I did that up until fourth grade.
Oh,
I did that up until fourth grade. Every year I bought my teachers and my crush
that's so
a
sweet.
Valentine's gift.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did that for years. I used to write poems to girls. I was
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
but that was, mind you, like elementary school David. So I was definitely shooting in the air when it came to that because what am I doing as like an 8-year-old? I love you. Like what the fuck is wrong with
Oh
me?
my god, you want to hear something so funny?
Huh.
At 8 years old, I confessed my love to a boy. Turns out he was gay.
Oh wow. Damn. Well, at least you found out early.
At least you were shooting for the right, for the right sexuality, bro. Because I
Yeah.
was shooting opposite.
You missed the target.
No, that's great. But
Hmm.
eventually, after I want to say middle school, high school, how did you approach it?
Yeah,
How did
Valentine's.
things change?
So my perspective on Valentine's Day shifted from that very romantic, very sweet um, approach to like just giving gifts for the purpose of appreciating someone you have a crush for or like someone you care for.
Mm.
And in middle school, I started to, of course, it's like the awkward teenage phase where you're kind of growing and changing into your body. But my thing was, I didn't really I didn't struggle that much with interacting with girls and
Nah, David
getting
has
girlfriend.
W wrist.
I had W wrist.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I had WRS. But during middle school, especially, I felt like I dated a lot of people, and I kept getting broken up with and kept getting dumped. And it was for such a stupid reason because I would be there, I would be attentive, supportive. I wasn't always perfect. Like there's some relationships I did like do stupid shit in, but I'm a kid. But for the most part, I was a good boyfriend, and I would often get dumped. So it turned Valentine's into this just like, what's the point of me caring and putting this extra effort in if I'm just gonna get shut down anyways?
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
So Valentine's went from that. I was like, okay, well, if there's no one for me to give a gift to, I'm not gonna celebrate
I
Valentine's.
feel like after that, and then high school, you just
Yeah, I stopped doing it.
at high school, like Valentine's Day became non-existent to you.
Yeah. I would get the roses from like like in school when they would give out the mystery candies and shit. I would get a couple every now and then. Like I would say every year, probably like 2 or 3.
People would give you.
I would get a mystery. Some of them are from friends. Some of them are
Who
from
are you, mystery
anonymous.
girls? Reveal yourself.
Come out,
Yeah.
let us know.
Thank you for appreciating my Pookie.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice to know that someone had like appreciation for me, and it was like a
Yeah.
nice. It was like a little confidence, like a
That's
reassurance.
nice.
But it was just cute, and I would occasionally send out things, but it wasn't the same as when I was in elementary.
I feel like your intentions are definitely more pure as a child. Everything is more pure as a
Mhm.
child.
Yeah,
It
'cause I was
definitely
giving it to
carries on.
teachers. I was
Yeah.
got my mom a gift, got my sister a gift.
So speaking of parents and Valentine's, my Valentine's Day it's so lovely. So I grew up with a single father. You guys know that from the past episode. Please watch it now if you haven't. Anyway, I grew up with my single dad, and Valentine's every single holiday he would make sure he was there. Valentine's Day was a big one for him.
Yeah.
He would request half a day at work. He would wait for me. My dad had a babysitter pick me up all the time for like my school pickup.
Mhm.
On Valentine's Day and my birthday, it was the only days he would show up early, and he would pick me up. He would wait outside for dismissal with the biggest bouquet of flowers and a box of chocolates every single year in elementary school.
That is so important and essential for, I feel like a healthy father-daughter relationship to establish this idea of you deserve to be appreciated and cherished.
Every year he made it
Hmm.
happen. Every year he showed up with flowers and chocolates. And I had a father who was there for me. He was everything. And all the girls around me were like, "Wow, oh my
Yeah.
god." My dad would even bring little chocolates. Rima, Priya, if you're watching this, I know my dad got you chocolates. Like my best friends, even in middle school, my dad would get always do these things, but elementary school he would show up and pick me up. And then eventually, as I grew older,
Hmm.
he didn't want to embarrass me, but he still did something.
Yeah.
But just to have my dad show up, it's a beautiful memory. Like I know
Yeah.
my dad was there on Valentine's
You had
Day.
it was a core memory, a
Oh,
foundational memory
definitely.
that, and it showed you what you deserve to receive. You know.
Yeah, my dad set the expectations for me.
Exactly.
And even then, up until this day, every year my dad buys me a box of chocolates and we share it together. I always buy him something too. He buys me flowers or he buys me roses. Like every year he always does something for me, whether we live together or not, but he just shows up for me. And I just think it's very sweet. It's a nice gesture, you
Hmm.
know? I think that Valentine's Day is more of a commercialized thing now. It's like, oh, roses, chocolates, like make your money, show
Yeah.
people how that you love them with gifts. But
Like a big display. You know.
it's so much more than that, you know. To us, it sounds so cliche, but it's true. To us, Valentine's Day is every year. I tell you that I love you every morning when I wake up.
Yeah.
I tell you that I love you even, like whenever.
Just showing the appreciation, just because that's what people
You
deserve.
don't need gifts to show that you love. It's words of affirmation, acts of kindness, physically just being there, even if you're quiet.
Hmm.
You can show love in different ways. So this just so happens to be like how my dad did it for me, Valentine's Day, but my dad's always there, you know. So I just want to stress the importance of,
Did you ever do like a Galentine's?
oh, yeah, don't even get me started on that. Like,
Like doing it not for a partner but for a friend.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like, but so Sally and I were supposed to do it this week. But, we have done it. I've done it with Rima, Priya, like
Nice.
my middle school friends. We did Valentine's every single year.
Hmm.
We would meet at Priya's house and we would have food. Like her mom, amazing Indian food. Oh
Yeah.
my god! And Rima knows how to cook so good. And Rima knew how to cook at the age of 12.
She knew what's up. She was busting down.
Yeah. We always did Valentine's. Jeannie.
Hmm.
My dad always got her roses too when we lived with her.
That's very sweet.
He got her roses. We would do like yeah, always Valentine's and Valentine's. Because to me, it's about showing up,
Yeah.
and just making sure that even if I can't buy you something, I'll crochet you something.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little something.
It's much more than just the romance. It's about appreciating the
Yeah,
person.
because Valentine's, again, so much more than, it's not just one day. It's also not necessarily romantic. Like,
Yeah.
it could be Valentine's with my father, which is father daughter.
Hmm.
It could be friendships. It could be your teachers.
Yeah.
It could be somebody you appreciate. It could be anybody.
It's able to make you have like show appreciation for people, but also to like establish a good, healthy relationship.
Exactly. In Spanish, when you translate Valentine's Day, it translates to Día del Amor y la Amistad, which again translates to English and the day of love and friendship.
So it's very important that there's more to Valentine's Day than just.
There is. It's so much more than romantic, and like some people like beat themselves up about it. Like, oh, this Valentine's Day I'm alone.
Yeah.
That was me last year. I was alone on Valentine's Day. David had a
Sorry,
little
sorry,
date night.
Sorry.
He had a nice little date night, which was good. But I was also one of those people who was like, oh man, I'm alone this Valentine's Day. Ugh. But it's so much more than that. It could also be love for yourself. Love overall is.
Yeah.
Celebrated, and it should be celebrated every
Mhm.
day. It's not just romantic one-on-one type thing.
Exactly.
So speaking of healthy relationships, I just want to kind of dive into that and stress how important it is to maintain a healthy relationship. And relationships means whether it's, again, your father, mother, family member, cousin, boyfriend, girlfriend, bestie,
Friend, yeah.
anybody. Relationships are
With yourself even.
exactly. So relationships are very important. People sometimes forget to water it. I kind of see it like a plant.
Hmm.
You can't just have it there and expect it to be perfect. You gotta
Yeah.
plant. You gotta water it. You gotta work on it.
Make sure it gets some sunlight, do the things that are
Exactly.
necessary to foster a good, healthy plant.
I talk about that with Ron all the time, like fill my cup in a
Mhm.
way. So I just kind of want to touch on the subject of how it looks to have a healthy relationship, because a lot of people picture like healthy and nice to be picture perfect.
Yeah. It's very much that grass is greener situation where
Yes.
their idea of a healthy relationship can look a certain way, but there are still flaws within that. So every healthy relationship looks different for person to person.
Exactly. Like healthy doesn't always look nice.
Yeah. Like for example, you may think of a, let's say for example, is me and Ane, right? On the outside, we look like this great couple. Like we're having a great time. We communicate a lot, but maybe behind cameras, you don't know. We could be fighting and arguing about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the reason we bring that up is because understanding that your relationship is completely different from anyone else's. Don't compare.
Yes, please don't ever compare, whether it's boyfriend girlfriend relationship or any relationship that you have with someone. You only see so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like mine, David and I. So us as context, as examples, because we can speak for ourselves. We've known each other 10 years now,
Mm-hmm.
but the relationship, you know,
Yeah, it's had its bumps, had its rides.
you know, we're amazing, and I feel like we're as authentic as we are on camera as we are off.
Mm-hmm.
But behind that, it's a lot of growth that we both had to do.
Yeah,
as
the whole reason we wanted to start this podcast is because of the type of conversations we have with each other, and we were realizing how healing and growing these were for ourselves as individuals.
So
But why
the
not
other
share?
day, I was talking about I was sitting with David, and I was like, damn, like, you know, we're about to make a year of living together, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it was easy, you know,
It was not hard at
time
all.
flew by. And David goes, what do you mean don't discredit yourself? I went through it more than he did
Yeah,
when I moved in.
give yourself props. You know.
Yeah. And that's where healthy doesn't always look nice comes in, because I I was in a for once healthy, stable place and home
Mm-hmm.
where I wasn't,
Used to this type of energy.
yes, I wasn't distracted by anything. I wasn't looking for anyone. Everything I had was there, and I was okay. For once I was happy, and I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
Not toxic.
Yeah, it's so easy to like when you're in a toxic environment to seek said toxic environment and
And
to identify that as a healthy relationship.
it also distracts you,
Yeah.
because it's so easy for me to try and fixate on, let me fix you, let me work on you, where to the point where I don't focus on myself.
Yeah.
Not that it's you, it's just
Yeah,
an example, you know. But like, I've had past boyfriends, and they're like just not good men, you know, and I've tried to fix them, and try to hang on a little longer, just hoping that he gets better and that I can be a good influence, and just holding on was for what, you know. So toxic can be distracting. I came to this conclusion, and a realization about myself is, when placed in a healthy, stable environment,
That you're not used to.
past trauma resurfaces,
Yes.
because I am comfortable, I am authentically me, I am in a safe space with someone who loves me.
Mm.
I had so much trauma come out of nowhere that I didn't even know I had. Obviously.
It's kind of like a fear where you're so used to the trauma, you're waiting for it to resurface. You're like, when is it gonna happen? Your body's so like, it needs that response because it's what you're accustomed to.
I came face to face with myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a battle against me versus me.
Yeah.
And because
You would think that moving in with a person, you would like clash and butt heads with them, but
no, my biggest fear was just kind of like butting heads with you a little bit, or maybe distraction, or just like certain things you may like that I don't. And yeah, it's normal, we're humans.
yeah.
My biggest thing was me against me, because David was really open to it and very comforting. Like, you literally opened up your home, and we live together now, and it's great. But moving in, I really had to come face to face with myself. I had nowhere else to go. Like, I couldn't run away. Where am I gonna go? For what? I'm in a happy, healthy household. I have a roof over my head. I have food. I have a stable job. I am fine. Everything is fine. I can't run away. Why would I want to run away?
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to face myself and my trauma. And these insecurities came out, and things I was afraid of, and it just came out. And I had to deal with it. Not deal with it in the sense of like, you know, like, oh my God, annoying. I had to work on it. He, as a partner, you helped me work on it.
Yeah, I was trying to accommodate you in the best way that I could because, of course, I want to be there for you, but it was not like I was doing anything directly wrong.
No, David was just
existing.
Yeah, you were just being you.
And that's the thing. That's where it came into understanding that you have your own traumas that you need to heal. You have your own issues you need to heal. And for me to be a good partner, I need to be there for you while you go through said process.
Yes, that's the thing. It's like you said, grass is always greener. People I idolize this relationship, and like not us, but like if you look at, I don't know, YouTubers, family YouTubers, like, oh my god, so pretty. Don't ever compare yourselves to them, honey, because you don't know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be completely honest, I went through hell when I first moved in. Not with him, with me, because
Yeah.
my drama kicked in. My trauma came up, and it fucked with my head. And that's why I say healthy doesn't always look nice.
Yeah.
You
I think
know?
one of the main points that we're trying to like address is having a healthy relationship. That can be with anyone. It can be with yourself. It can be with others. But it takes effort on all sides. You as an individual towards yourself, and both parties in relationship for each other.
You gotta make
You know?
certain sacrifices
It takes
because
time.
it's not always gonna be comfortable.
Yeah.
You gotta put in work for anything. If you want something, you put in work for it, and you make it work. If you
Yeah.
want to buy something, you make it fucking work. Same thing. It's like you gotta sacrifice some things. You gotta, not all the time, obviously, at your own
Discretion.
but you really gotta put in work.
And then when it came down to like, even on my end, it wasn't like rainbows and sunshine when it came down to us living together. I had a space that I became accustomed to. And I had to understand that someone was moving into my space, and now it was no longer just going to be my space.
Mm-hmm.
So the like literally my first night, I emptied out a whole closet, like prepped the room, changed the way it looked because I was like, this is how I like things, and I'm used to that, and I'm comfortable in this home already. This is a whole new change for Anai. So the more comfortable I can make her, the more welcome I can make her feel, the better it'll be for the transition of her moving in.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the idea of working on yourself or working on a relationship, you got to be comfortable with change.
And sacrifice.
And not necessarily be comfortable with it because it's hard.
Yeah.
Be open to the idea of change.
Mm-hmm.
Be open to the idea of something may not go right. You have to come in with an open mind about it because you really don't know what's going to happen.
It won't be perfect the first try.
Exactly. So that's kind of like a little bit about me, about what I kind of went through moving in. And it gets easier as you go because the minute you start opening about your trauma, certain things that you went through, or just inner battles with yourself, it gets easier to speak about it. Easier and easier. And I can say for myself, it's been like that, you know?
Our relationship has done nothing but grow the more time we spent together.
Yeah. And it's like we have these type of conversations all the time, but I really just had this realization to myself, and I was like, wait a minute. I had to come face to face with myself. It wasn't sparkles and sunshine. It was crazy.
It was like we reflected on it, like what a year, wow. But there was a lot of shit that happened during said year, a lot of growth, a lot of progress. And it's very important to often take a step back and give yourself credit. You know?
Yeah.
You never see how much progress you made until you take a perspective of another person.
Yeah, and I also see like just speaking about goals and perspectives, it's like I also see sometimes people have this goal, like let's say this, right? We want to get here, and we're so caught up on this thing that we want to get to that we forget this is where we started.
Yeah.
And sometimes we forget to look back, like, oh my god, I was there, but I'm here now. You get so caught up in the final goal that you forget the mini steps that took you along the way.
Exactly. You're idealizing a person who's already achieved what you want, but you're not looking at what they did to get there.
Yeah. I was talking about that with Ron this week. I was talking to him about the podcast. He's a listener. And we were just discussing my goals and how I want to grow as an individual, how we want to grow together, and how we want to grow on the podcast. And I was telling him, you know, it's baby steps. It's moving little by little. We're slowly getting there. And he goes, oh, tell me a little more about that. Elaborate. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like baby steps, you know, our charts keep growing. What matters to me is that the ball's moving, right?
Yeah.
That ball's rolling. As we're doing something, actively working, actively posting, actively doing this. And he goes, think about this. He gave me this perfect analogy that I loved and I shared with you. The earth is moving right now. Do you feel it?
No.
Exactly. But it's moving. And in that earth, so much is happening.
Seasons are changing.
People are living. There's families.
Days turning to night. Yeah.
It's beautiful events happening as we speak. The earth is moving, you just don't feel it. But just because you don't feel it doesn't mean it's not moving.
Yeah.
And beautiful things are happening while it's moving.
Bars. Mic drop. Mic drop.
Mic drop for Ron.
That's right.
And
Ronnie
he
Pooh.
gave me this beautiful this beautiful analogy. Just because you don't feel the earth moving doesn't mean that it's not moving.
Yeah.
And apply that to your life. Apply that to your current scenario. Just because you don't see the actions right away doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yeah.
You know?
It's an investment, you know?
Yeah. So
You're putting in the efforts in the short term and everything starts to roll.
exactly. It happens little by little, and that's just kind of, you know, how it comes. So it was perfect. You know,
It gave us a little bit of like reassurance,
yeah.
you know? Because we're doing this for us. We're doing this for you. We want to create this space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to see a little bit of gratification, even though we don't always need it. It's still like, you know,
Yeah, like we're humans. It's nature for us to want sometimes
to succeed. Our
yeah,
adventures to
certain
succeed.
validation, or to see, oh, we reached a goal.
Yeah.
By the way, we reached 100 followers on our
Woohoo!
Instagram.
Oh yeah.
You know what I always say? 100 may not be a lot on a screen,
Mm-hmm.
but I always say this.
Yeah.
But if 100 people were to walk in right now and stand there,
That's a lot of people.
that's a lot.
Yes.
You know,
And then we go from 100, then you double that, 200, you know, 400, 800, 1,000. 1,000 people in a room.
that's a lot. You know, even if it's just one person listening to us, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate you for letting us into your home.
We have these type of conversations with 2 or 3 of our friends, and now we get to have the type of conversation with 100 people.
You know, and it's just so beautiful to me. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. And we're just growing from here.
Yes.
You know,
Only up.
exactly. We're moving like the earth,
That's right.
but we're not feeling it.
Yeah. Next thing you know, it's gonna be summertime, and everything's gonna be a party.
Yeah. Yeah. So first milestone, 100 followers on Instagram. Instagram gang. Let's see. So the people who have listened,
Mm-hmm.
give us some yellow hearts in our comments to
That's
let
right.
us know that you got to the end of this episode.
I like that. And we gave you the exclusive take on the story. We're gonna drop the
You don't
story
know
on our
who.
Instagram,
Yeah.
but we're gonna do it without the context of who did what. So I could have been the person in my underpants getting my butt crack touched. Who knows?
I feel like people are gonna think I'm the type to touch their booty crack.
Yeah, you definitely give off booty crack toucher energy. You know, you just,
And I am.
the booty crack bandit.
But yeah, it's just it'd be great to let us know. Who now you know the insight. You know who did what.
Who do you think is gonna get voted more?
Mm.
You think it's gonna be, or who's gonna get voted for what? You know?
Yeah.
Oh wait, are we asking for who's gonna get
Whose fault it was.
whose fault it was?
But let's just see a couple of the
Yeah.
insights. You know,
People are definitely gonna blame the booty crack bandit. It's like, it's not even funny.
It's the booty crack bandit's fault.
Yeah, but we'll see. You never know. I could be viewed as the good guy in this situation. Okay. There's still hope.
Yeah, it's just so yeah, that's it. That sums up today's episode, guys. Thank you again.
Love you so much for watching. Appreciate you all.
Yeah, and we will come back next week, hopefully with a mug update.
That's right. Either next week or the week after, but we'll keep you in the loop.
Oh my god, before I forget, please, the song of the week. I always forget these things. Listen to Matilda by Harry Styles. We think that it kind of goes hand in hand with relationships and problem solving. Yeah, we'll let you know. But thank you again. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay happy and stay safe.
Yep. Check us out on all platforms. Not Your Average Chalupa, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all the good stuff.
Right here.
That's right.
Bye, guys. Take
Love you.
care.
Woo.